Matthew 2, 1-12. Now when Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea, in the days of Herod the king, behold, there came wise men from the east of Jerusalem, also found in Luke 2:6, saying, Where is he that is born King of the Jews? For we have seen his star in the east, and are come to worship him. When Herod the king had heard these things, he was troubled, and all Jerusalem with him. And when he had gathered all the chief priests and scribes of the people together, he demanded of them where Christ should be born. And they said unto him, In Bethlehem of Judea, for thus it is written by the prophet, And thou Bethlehem, in the land of Judea, art not the least among the princes of Judah. For out of thee shall come a governor that shall rule my people Israel. Also found in Micah 5:2 and John 7:41. Then Herod, when he had privily called the wise men, inquired of them diligently what time the star appeared. And he sent them to Bethlehem, and said, Go, and search diligently for the young child, and when you have found him, bring me word again, that I may come and worship him also. When they heard the king, they departed, and lo, the star which they saw in the east went before them, till they came and stood over where the child was. When they saw the star, they rejoiced with exceedingly great joy. And when they came into the house, they saw the young child with Mary his mother, and fell down and worshipped him. And when they had opened their treasures, they offered unto him gifts, gold and frankincense and myrrh. And being warned of God in a dream that they should not return to Herod, they departed into their own country another way. Then Herod, when he saw that he was mocked of the wise men, was exceedingly wroth, and sent forth and slew all the children that were in Bethlehem, and in all the coasts thereof, from 2 years old and under, according to the time when he had diligently inquired of the Magi. Matthew 2:16. Some versions it states the Magi as wise men, and in some they are just called the Magi. Micah 5:2. Be you Bethlehem, the Ephrat, so small among the clans of Judah, out of you will come forth to me the future ruler of Israel, whose origins are far in the past in ancient times. The identity of wise men or Magi, seeking to pay homage to the one-born King of the Jews. The Magi, these distant travellers, not only had a basic knowledge of the scriptures, they had revealed to them a critical piece of prophecy no one else possessed. The birth took the religious leaders and Jerusalem by surprise, whose job it was to understand the word of God and teach it to the people. Following a star from their homeland, the Magi and their huge entourage arrive in Jerusalem. And immediately seek Herod's assistance. Magi are not your average travellers. They are so important that they request and receive an immediate audience with a man known for his brutality and ego. Now in those days, gaining an audience with a king would be most difficult to achieve. You would have to go through an army of officials before getting into the throne room. Upon discovering that the Magi will not return to him, believes his foreign guests are mocking him, and flies into a rage. Why didn't Herod, who was known as a violent, impulsive, vengeful ruler who had Roman troops at his disposal, not pursue after the Magi and punish them for disrespect? Herod had several reasons to fear the Magi, and the repercussions of any actions he might take against them. The visitors were high-level Parthian priests and very influential members of aged Parthia's two assemblies who elected the empire's monarchs. Parthia as an empire rivaled that of Rome's at the time of Christ. The Parthians dealt the Romans one of their worst defeats in history. Around 53 BC, at the Battle of Carrhae, the Magi entered Jerusalem with a large entourage that included servants, cooks, and so on, worthy of those of high ranks. They also came with an armed escort of a few hundred Parthian soldiers, not only to protect their safety, but also to guard the precious gifts they carried. The Magi and the large group that came to Jerusalem, both the city and Herod, were greatly alarmed. Matthew 2:3. Herod knew who the wise men were and did not want to risk incurring the wrath of Rome. There is no record that Herod made any attempt to overtake or punish the Magi. As high Parthian nobles, they had diplomatic immunity. Parthia is an ancient land corresponding to modern region Iran. This term is reference to the Parthian Empire, 247 BC to 224 AD. The first certain occurrence of the name is Parthiva in 520 BC of the Achaemenid king Darius I, but Parthiva may be only a dialect version of Persian. Parthia was in Iran. Now modern-day Parthian Empire is in Turkey. After the fall of the Achaemenid Empire, Parthia, northeastern Iran, was governed by Seleucid kings. In 245 BC, a satrap named Antigoras revolted from the young Seleucid king, who had just succeeded the throne. 235 BC, a Parthian leader named Tiridates ventured further south and seized the rest of Parthia. Between 209 and 204 BC, Antiochus III the Great, who reconquered the lost eastern territories. After 188 BC, Antiochus died. A new phase of Parthian expansion started. King Mithridates, 171 to 138 BC, attacked the eastern kingdom, moved to the west, and conquered Media. After the conquest of Media, Assyria, Babylonia, and Elam, the Parthians had to organize their empire. In reference to Media, we go to Isaiah 13, verse 17. I will stir up against them the Medes who cannot be tempted by silver, or bought off with gold. And verse 18, their bows will tear young men to pieces, they will have no pity on the fruit of the womb, their eye will not spare children.